the next person that I want to introduce you to, the one and only Tara Walsh. Tara, are you there?
Hi, how are you?
I am great. Look at your shirt, looking good, girl.
I know, I'm all glamorized back there.
Holla. Okay, so listen, you are in such a unique market. And so I remember like when you first shared with me the market that you're in, I was kind of like, what? Like, explain that. So can you explain to everybody what market you're in and who you serve?
I serve lashpreneurs. So basically, lash artists is what they're called. They put on eyelash extensions. It's fake hair on your lashes that's glued individually. So those that want to do a business doing that, I teach them how to do that.
Well, okay, so this is amazing. So I didn't realize this was a thing, and then my wife looked at me. She's like, "What do you mean you didn't know this was a thing? Of course this is a thing." So what you're doing is you're helping the women who put eyelash extensions on other women. Is that right?
Yes. I mean, there are some men involved, but yes, mainly women. We're mostly a group of women, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So how did you get to this point? Like, how did you fall into helping these men and women with their eyelash extension businesses?
So I have 8 years of sales, marketing, business development experience in the corporate world, mostly in like hotels and sporting events. And then I had a miscarriage in 2012, which rocked my world. It kind of completely shifted what I wanted in life, and I wanted something that wasn't stressful. I was tired of the corporate rat race, so I thought, I'm going to go to beauty school. So I went to beauty school, became an esthetician, and during that, learned how to do lashes myself, went into lashing, was fairly successful as a lash artist on my own, and I thought, there's actually a huge gap in this marketplace of women who are not necessarily college educated, don't have a lot of business experience, but there is a lot of money to be made when you're on your own and you know how to run a business. They just didn't know how to do that. So they were doing discounts, they were doing Groupons. So there was a lot of education on how to run a business successfully that this industry needed. So that's where I kind of filled in the gap with my experience and my love for lashing and combining the two.
It's an incredible story, and I love how it has all come together for you. Now, take us back to where your business was prior to Tribe. Give people a sense of like where it was and what you were doing at that time.
Do I have to go back? So I started a membership shortly after kind of launching the business of being a lash biz coach, just because I needed a paid place to share my information rather than going into the free forums, because I'd been doing that for about 6 months. I didn't realize it was a membership I was starting. It was just a Facebook group that people paid to be a part of every month. And I was doing all the things wrong. And it actually surprised me that like the inherent kind of common sense way of running a membership is the exact opposite of what you should be doing to make it successful. And so I was stuck at about 60 to 70 members. We were kind of fluctuating between those numbers. It was open 24/7. I was giving away 2-week free trials to come in and experience it. It was content delivered every week. I was doing like a course basically every week. I was doing everything I could think of wrong, and I could not get it to grow. And it was at about $2,000 a month, and I had a team of like an admin assistant trying to help me duct tape this thing together, and it was actually costing me more money than it was making me. So in February of last year, so 2018, I gave my membership kind of this chopping block deadline of you have 6 months to start being worthwhile or I'm done and just going to move on to a launch-based course style program.
Amazing. So this was something you were considering like ending and your membership altogether.
Yeah, I was over it. I was exhausted and burnt out.
So you were exhausted and burnt out about the membership, but I also know that there was also another challenge that was happening in your life at that time. Am I right?
Little bit. Probably the biggest challenge of my life. Yeah. So at this time, I had a 3-month-old. So I had a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old, and my husband had just gotten out of the military, and for a couple of years, he was just not thriving in civilian life. And this was having a huge impact on our relationship, on our children, and having a stressful business and not really being able to bring in much income. And with him only going to school and not working, it was kind of do or die situation for our marriage and for our family. And it was through, luckily he's always been supportive of me just kind of chasing my dreams. And so it was either get a job or find a way to make my business work. And at that time, in February of 2018, I didn't know how to make my business work. I just knew that I had it in me to figure it out. I just didn't know what the steps were to do that. And so come to find out, he actually had PTSD, and this was kind of why he wasn't thriving and why he was struggling in civilian life. And once we kind of found that out, we made a pretty big, bold move as a family. Part of his triggers was loud noises, and having young kids, they make loud noises. So we decided that the kids and I would move in with my parents about an hour away so that he could go to intensive therapy, have a calming place that was our house to go back to and start to heal his brain. And me and the kids moved in with mom and dad. And this was actually right after I relaunched my membership. And we can talk about that too.
Wow. And so, I can't even imagine, because in one sense, it's like, there's a lot of decisions, big decisions that are being made there, and you're working hard to be able to help him make the progress, and for all of us who have a spouse, of course, we're going to do anything and everything to help our spouses recover and get better. And so, what were your thoughts at the time as it related to your business and being able to juggle all of this?
There were a lot of reasons why my business shouldn't have succeeded and had the year that we've had. And those were things that I could have held on to. But for me, I took the perspective of these are reasons why my business has to work and why it has to provide financially, because I needed capacity to be stability for my children, because my husband wasn't able to be that. I mean, even in the best of circumstances, a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old is chaotic and hectic. And having a partner who just couldn't emotionally be there and who had such intense triggers, for me to try and be there for him and for my kids and for my community with a flailing business just wasn't going to happen. So it was essentially, not only did having my membership, understanding how it worked, launching it, having it be a success, that gave me the capacity to be able to serve my family and my members to the best that I could do at that time, because I really couldn't do much more than that. And so it kind of gave me this freedom just to focus on showing up for my family and showing up for my members, and that was about all I could do at that time.
Well, okay, so I want to talk about what happened, because this year has been an unbelievable year for you. And
Bananas.
So walk us through, what has transpired over the past 12 months?
Yeah, so I joined Tribe in March of 2018. I took a couple weeks to get into it because I didn't have the money to spend on it. I mean, every penny went back into my house, but I thought if I can just get a return on my investment and have, break even with my investment into Tribe, then I'll call it a win. But I really wanted to serve more lash artists, and I knew that what I had inside me would help them. I just didn't know how to present it to them. And so then finally, when I ripped off the Band-Aid and started going into Tribe, I realized all the things that I had been doing wrong, all the ways in which I could make the program better. And so I actually shut down my membership for a good 6-week period to reformat it. And I was completely transparent with my members, saying, hey guys, just, I'm going to be quiet for the next 4 to 6 weeks, but you're going to see a lot of changes happening, and then we're going to revamp this whole program and launch it. So I followed step by step the processes that you have inside of Tribe, literally didn't do much extracurricular stuff. Even the video script was the exact same that I read for my launch. And the first launch, we did 293 new members over a 6-day open cart.
Yeah!
For $13,000 in recurring revenue.
That's unbelievable. So you went from 2,000 to over 13,000 with that launch, yeah. and you kept that momentum going, because I know the rest of the year you didn't end there, did you?
We launched more in February, so we waited almost a full 7 months before we launched again. We were building a wait list during this time, and this last launch we did 458 new members. So now we're doing about $30,000 a month.
Tara, this is amazing, and I'm so happy for you, buddy, because again, I know people hear me talk about this, but this, for me, this is why we do what we do, because it's not about the money, it's about what that money makes possible. And yeah. I'm thrilled for you, because I know it was a challenging time, and to watch what has happened in a year. We say, never underestimate what can happen in a 1 year period of time. This is why I'm encouraging people all the time. Do not put this off. Do not shelf this for another year, because there's so much that can happen in a year, and you're a great example of that. What advice would you give for people who were in a similar situation where they were, thinking about Tribe but were on the fence, going back and forth? What would you say to them?
Can I have some real talk?
Yeah.
With people who might be in that position. There is somebody out there who is hurting, who is struggling, who has a pain point that only you can solve. And by having this, am I good enough? Can I really do this? I can't afford it. All of this hemming and hawing, you're actually being selfish, and that you're only focusing on you rather than what you can offer to someone who's in a really hard place. If Stu had sat on the idea of Tribe for years and years and years because he didn't feel good enough, or who's he to be doing this, then my life wouldn't have changed. All of the lives of the testimonials you've heard wouldn't have been impacted. But we don't have to have it all figured out. We just have to be able to show up and offer what we can offer. And when you focus on serving your members or the other person on that end of the computer that you're supposed to help, then you don't have to worry about whether you're good enough or whether you're capable of or whether you can afford it. That will all come. But the action creates the clarity, not the clarity and then you act. So get off the fence. Just trust yourself that you'll figure it out and just go for it.
Girl, I couldn't have said it any better. I'm beaming from ear to ear, really, because for me, it's just like I hear what you have done, I hear what the others have done here tonight, and I hear it all the time, and this is why I am so deeply connected and so passionate about membership sites and joining Tribe, because I know Tribe works. You use it, it works. And so that's why, for me, these stories are amazing, and they light me up. Your story lights me up. Like, when I first heard you share it, I remember I was like, what? We were at another conference, and you were sharing it, and I was just like, what? And we were at James Wedmore's event, and you were sharing it, and I was just like, wow, I want to find out more about what's going on here. And this is part of it. One of the challenges that we have, in transparently, is we don't hear all the stories all the time. And so every now and then, they'll pop up in the wild where people will share them, just like this one, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So thank you so much for coming to join us. Where can people go to find out more about what it is that you do and how you help?
Well, you're not my audience unless you're a lash artist, so don't follow me and mess up my algorithm, but you can check out the Lashpreneur on Instagram. It's like entrepreneur, but Lashpreneur. And if you do follow, just make sure that you engage so I can make sure my message reaches the right people.
Tara, you're amazing, buddy. Thank you so much for joining and for sharing your story. And very, very excited for you in terms of where you've come and where you're going.
Oh, we're just getting started, boo.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, thanks, Tara. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Stu.